Under the project, we've established strategic partnership with key government institutions. This includes Ghana Revenue Authority. We also have Financial Intelligence Center and Economic and Organized Crime Office, YOCO. We thank them for the partnership and for opening their doors to us to work with them. We believe that this strategic partnership will bring strong legitimacy and effects to the project that we're implementing. How the media could support government in tax education, how the media can track and monitor and complement the effort of government in combating illicit financial flows that is undermining government effort in raising revenue for development.
Well, there are many definitions. There's no single definition, and it depends on the angle from which you are looking at it. From the work of the African Union and the ECA, it is money that is illegally earned, used, or acquired. If you are a law enforcement agency, we are looking at money laundering, money from crime, corruption, and especially by politically exposed persons. But if you are civil society activists, you would tend to define it to include both the illegal and the morally unacceptable methods, including corruption, tax manipulation, import under declaration, export under declaration. All of those constitute part of the illicit financial flows. Human trafficking, drug trafficking, illegal trade in counterfeit drugs, counterfeit cloth, cigarettes, contraband cigarettes, all of those constitute illicit financial flows.
We have a situation where commodities, monies are moving from one country to another. In other words, you have finance or monies moving across borders, and the sources of these monies are illegal. That's basically what illicit financial flows are. The transfer of monies from one destination to another, that is across borders, in a situation where these or the sources of these monies are illegal or illicit. That's basically it.
The word illicit in itself means illegal, so which means that funds accruing from illegal activities. So when we say illicit financial flows, then we mean that funds accruing from illegal activities being moved from one place to the other, and in this context, being moved outside Ghana.
Strictly speaking, if you're thinking about the measurement, the UN system has decided that Africa countries should concentrate on tax and commercial activities, while Latin Americans and others are looking at human trafficking and drug trafficking. So for Ghana, we are looking at tax and commercial activities that generate illicit financial flows. So we're basically looking at import and export, that's trade, banking, finance, insurance, investment, tax returns, and production. either manufacturing or mining or petroleum. All of those contain illicit financial flows along the whole value chain.
What I did was to look at commodity trade-related illicit financial flows. So we looked at gold, bauxite, we looked at cocoa, coffee, we looked at the situations in Ghana, Switzerland, and Laos, which is in Asia. Now, we noticed that the media isn't much interested in issues around illicit financial flows reporting. And over the period, a lot of the reporting scratches the surface of the problem. So your expectation is that the media is tracing, for example, how much cocoa is exported, how much is declared in those countries to which cocoa is exported, how much gold is exported, what is declared in these countries, the composition of the metals there in those countries, and so on. So a lot of the media houses here may not be doing enough. I think over the period there's been a bit of focus on this, but it's not been enough. There hasn't been much reporting on illicit financial flows.
The nature it moves exists in various forms. One of the forms is capital flight. The other one could be the funds are disguised in precious minerals like gold, and then they are taken out. So in other words, they are in the form of goods smuggled outside the country. Now, we said illicit activities, which means that in the course of a company preparing its financial statement, they would have concealed the actual income of the company. So for instance, let's say that the cost of sales is 100 million. Then the company in preparing its financial statement would rather say the cost of sales is 70 million, concealing 30 million. Now the revenue accruing or the tax component that is associated with the 30 million would have been income or revenue to the state. So that one is concealed, and then definitely because they haven't disclosed it, then they will find ways and means to take it outside the books and take it outside the country.
Every country has its own financial and political systems. But the number one problem is lack of leadership. Where there is proper leadership, the institutions work and they're able to counter the activities of illicit financial flow operators, including those that engage in illegal trade, illegal mining, illegal export of gold, illegal harvesting and export of rosewood, illegal export of diamonds, then proceeds of corruption that are taken out of the country.
We should have, for example, the customs bodies, customs departments in the various countries being much more resourced to identify issues around illicit financial flows. And when there are illicit financial flows, they should have the capacity to detect and crack down on them. In Ghana, in Laos, in Switzerland, we noticed there was significant undervaluation and overvaluation of produce that are moved from the global south that is very rich in commodities to the Western countries.
We are collaborating with the Ministry of Finance. We are collaborating with FIC, then GRA in this respect to deal with illicit financial flows. Indeed, the Global Financial Integrity Report for 2015 says that about 40 billion US dollars was lost by Ghana between 1960 and then 2012 through illicit financial flows. The figure in recent times is even projected around 1.5 billion US dollars between 2012 thereabout towards 2017. So it's even envisaged that 2017 to now, then the figure is likely to be high. And that tells you the magnitude of funds that Ghana as a state lost through illicit financial flow.
You need to reform your system to allow for strengthening of those institutions that already exist. Add new ones that don't exist so that they can fight illicit financial flows. For example, you would have a Financial Intelligence Center, Transfer Pricing Unit. All those are new institutions that are supposed to help the fight. But these institutions don't have the right tools and resources to be able to do their work. They are also subjected to political interference in picking and investigating cases that they should be investigating and prosecuting them.
I think illicit financial flows and the reporting around it sound a bit complex. The whole concept is complex, and this situation seems to have provided fodder for a lack of interest in reporting the issue. It's not like the very popular subjects that a lot of people are used to. So, illicit financial flows, what is the media's understanding of this whole concept? So a lot of the time, you have some 2 or 3 politicians talking about it, or let's say Media Foundation for West Africa or the Fourth Estate probably doing something on it, a forum, and then you have experts coming in to talk about the problem, and the media houses will pick the sound bites and the other things, talk about it a bit, scratching the surface. Again, we are only scratching the surface of the problem.
Sometimes we know it's not their fault, but when you ask for or request for information from Ghana Revenue Authority or Registrar General Companies about profiles of companies, tax profile among other things of companies, because of the many divisions, it may take quite a long time. But going forward, if there is one platform where, let's say, IOCO and other law enforcement agencies can be hooked onto that platform, so that if we are looking for information about a particular company, we can log on it. Then we can see that indeed that company exists, indeed the profile of the company is ABC. Then we can proceed to do our work and now use a formal means to get that information. If that is done, it will facilitate the work. But where we have to use bureaucracy, we write a letter, send it to somebody, the person minute it to the other, before the feedback comes, it's 2 weeks, 1 month, and so forth, then that one, it doesn't help.
Remember that there are some things that we do that contribute to illicit financial flows. If you engage in those, you are contributing to the problem. If you front for a politician or a technocrat and you hold money or houses or other property in their name on their behalf, you are contributing to reducing the life expectancy of Ghanaians. If you take their resources and go and invest in other countries on their behalf, you are also engaging in illicit financial flows, and you are reducing the living standards of Ghanaians. If you take your money and you buy gold, and you work with the drivers at the Kaneshi station or circle to hide it in the compartment of the vehicle, and you cross the border to Ilubu or Aflao to go and buy goods to come and sell, you are contributing to the problem. If you are a trader and you import goods and you go to the border and you find a way to underdeclare and pay less duties, you are contributing to the problem.
We need the media to tell our story and also to whip the sentiments of the public to say something, or when they see something, they say something, or in short, they inform IOCO about economic and organized crimes. And I can assure you, once we get the information, we are poised to act, and then we will do that without fear or favor.
Illicit financial flows are robbing nations of much needed tax revenues. Illicit financial flows must be fought. And I believe that the fourth estate of the realm, journalism, the media, must be able to fight illicit financial flows head on. It is something that civil society also must work very hard to deal with. Because if we don't do that, water provision of basic amenities in the winding creeks will not happen, because monies that we could have used to give a bit of relief to these people would have gone into the pockets of rich individuals and rich nations. We have to know that this is a threat to our very existence. This is something we should be able to deal with. Everybody must come on board so we deal with it. Otherwise, we all may end up perishing.